Hello, and welcome to Let's Drone Out, episode 467, recorded on Thursday, the 8th of August, 2024. With us this week, we are joined by our Lord and Master, Frank.
Hello.
And the wonderful, bright until I fly, Jack.
Hello.
I'm the idiot with the mustache, Stephen. How you guys been?
Good. It's turned very wet again. We had like a week of summer, and it's now returned to drizzle and grey. But we'll survive.
I'm going to do a beer-related product placement. This is called Employee of the Month, and it's yummy. I'm going to actually even refocus my camera because it's so lovely. It's a milk stout. It's by Pretty Decent Brewing, who are indeed pretty decent. It's very nice. Highly recommend.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Nah, that'll be the day. They pay our way in beer.
I've built what I can only describe as a bomb.
Oh,
that does look vaguely bomb shaped.
That is air travel compatible, right there.
That is very, very bomb-like.
Are those all soldered on?
It turns out,
chef kiss, beautiful.
that fake Kenwick solder braid is cheaper than nickel strips.
Yeah, probably burns a lot better as well, doesn't it?
Yes, vaporizes very well.
For our audio listeners, this is a 4S3P Lion pack.
We can certainly see 12 cells.
Or 3?
No, 3S.
3S 4P.
Parallel.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, Tony's here. Hang on, let's send Tony an invite.
Tony likes Pretty Decent beer. They're great. They do raspberry sour slushies on hot days. You get like half a pint of beer and half a pint of frozen beer on top in like a Mr. Whippy swirl. And it's pretty awesome when it's really, really hot. So what are you going to do with this bomb? If you got any flights planned, maybe take it on holiday with you. See if you get a really intimate
underneath
frisking.
His chair to be like the world's most abusive whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
None of it. I've built it. I've realised realised the errors of my ways, and no longer want to continue because it weighs a ton.
When you say a ton, quantify that for our audio listeners because we can only see, we cannot feel.
It was.
I feel nothing.
It's like
pain.
It's basically pretty much 400 grams for
400 grams. But what's the capacity? It must be.
We worked it out. It's 0.7 milliamp. So it's like
0.7 amp hour, 700 mile in 400 grams.
Right.
That is
that cannot be right.
That's another level of power.
0.7 100 milliamps per cell.
Per cell, right? Okay, and you've got 4 in parallel.
Yeah.
You can't have 0.7 milliamps per cell. That is, what are they like? Are they even batteries? The units are wrong.
Are they just capacitors?
Does that count as a battery when you've got less than a milliamp in it? Like the size of a crayon?
I'll be honest with you. I did work it out, but my working out was on a Tupperware, and it blew out the window.
How big is each cell? Notionally, how large is each cell?
Right, Frank.
Yeah.
It is 6.48 watt hour per cell.
Right.
At 3.7 volts.
Yeah. So 1750 milliamp hour.
Yeah.
Per cell, and you've got 3 of them.
Well,
right?
4 parallel.
Oh yeah.
4.
I keep getting it that wrong.
Together.
So it's 7 amp hour.
That's big.
7
it's not 0.7 milliamps. It's 7 amp hours.
Sorry. My
Mr. Decimal went on holiday then, didn't he?
Decimal went in the wrong place. Yeah, something like that. I worked it out.
Just wrong by like
What's an order of magnitude between friends, or even six of them?
It's too big.
100 times
It's
100.
too heavy.
Well, for a 7 amp hour, I mean, you could long range on that. You just need something with.
That was the
high
plan. That was the plan. The only other
Have you
thing
got a
I can
7-inch?
do is stagger them.
Oh, it looks like they'll auto stagger on landing. Perfect.
Yeah. Enthusiastic, man. I don't know. I
have you
just
got
don't know how I
something
feel about it.
Have
I
you
think
got
it's
something
gonna
that will
be too
fly
heavy.
on 3S? You do. You've got 3S quads, haven't you?
No. The lowest I've got is 4S.
Oh, you say that, but you
Your
used to fly them on
tricopter would
3S.
fly on that, wouldn't it? It would fly on
Oh,
that
he can't
for
fly
like
the tricopter
3
though.
hours.
That's reserved for special occasions with only the most premium of components.
I don't think he'll fit. I could tape it to the bottom.
Put
of
it
the
on a
tricopter.
4S quad. It just means your hover throttle will be like 40% or something.
Yeah.
It'll get off the ground. Just be a bit of a dog. Go on.
Well, it
Go
could
on,
be a
go on,
field
go on.
pack, if nothing else.
Oh, you should
Yeah.
fly it, mate, just to see what the voltage sag's like. I mean, you don't even need to get high off the ground. You could just get 2 foot off the ground and stay there for a couple of minutes and see, does it get ludicrously hot? Does it just smoke and the quad falls to the floor, or see what's going on?
It's out of the cells are out of discarded vape batteries. Now the normal discard vape battery is this big, which is the size of a good crayon. These are substantially bigger, but they just weigh a ton. They're just not.
That probably means that they're going to carry more current without heating up, right?
I don't know. I don't. I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared of it. I accidentally knocked it over, and it shorted and melted and vaporized the solder braid that it fell on.
But these are all positive
In
contraindications, Jack, of making a
In
good quality battery.
I don't know. Have you got anything 3S? I'll tell you what would take this.
Yes, I do. I've got lots of 3S things, but none of them that'll lift 400.
Do you want me to rewire it?
Mental check. Was that quad that you built me a 3S quad?
No, it's 4, but...
Okay.
I feel like one of these fixed wings would take it.
Yeah, I mean, a wing would take it for sure.
Yeah.
I think most of mine... I've definitely... So I've done like a low and slow flying on an 18650 3S pack with just a regular 5-inch quad that was built for 6S. And it was difficult to fly, but it flew.
The thing is this is like 300 and something odd grams. By the time I put balance connectors on it in order to charge it, and then put an XT60 on it, it's terrifying.
Do you have fish paper?
It'll be all right, mate. You're so negative. Just
it comes
give it
with
a whirl.
fish paper already installed.
Look, you're always carrying a GoPro, and the GoPro is like what, 150 grams. Just don't fly with a GoPro. You're 150 grams positive already.
I mean, can you imagine adding another, another 4?
Yes,
adding
absolutely.
another cell to it. We can always wait for that. We can keep this on the side and wait, and then
I think you should just try it on a 4S quad and just at least do a hover test. You can do a hover test outside somewhere where there's space, and just get it off the ground a couple of feet. Give it a quick check.
I've flown a 4-inch quad with either a 4,000 or a 10,000 milliamp hour LiPo before. That's looks very silly, but it flies.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony had a field pack, and we taped that to the wooden shitcopter.
What was that?
How big was that?
What, 20,000 milliamp hour, I think?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like a house brick.
Stuff will take off. It'll just take a lot of beans to get it off the ground. It'll work.
I started my car using a 4S last week.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
flat battery, and I said, hold on, Bruce, I've got a LiPo here I can take apart the ends, took the took the took it apart so it was loose wires, and I said, "Hold it on there, bruv," and he started first go. Brilliant.
Wow. What engine size was that?
2 litre.
Wow, it's not bad.
2 litre petrol. It was my Integra Type R.
Wow. And that was
Yeah.
what, like just a regular 1 amp hour quad pack?
Yeah, it was a 5,000 milliamp 4S.
A bit chunkier then. Did it get warm at all, or?
Well, I just went whoop, straight on and started the car.
I mean, you see some that are sold as car starting packs, and they're just like slightly larger versions of phone chargers. It's nuts. They're not even as big as a 5
Yeah, but they
amp
got
hour
loads
would be.
of
They've got a
step
capacitor
up
at
in
the
them.
top. Yeah.
I have no idea when that was last charged either. So I've got no idea if how not flat it is, whatever. But she started.
Does the job. Yeah.
Piss with the cock you got.
I do.
So I don't know, Frank.
Yes.
If you've got something wing related that can take this monstrosity, then
Well, at least fixed wing. I feel like one of these should be big enough to take that.
If we can meet up, I'll put it on a quad.
Isn't there something happening tomorrow, Frank?
Yes, tomorrow is happening.
Tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
You said keep Friday free.
No, next week, Friday,
Oh, okay.
the 16th.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I think
You sound like you're getting a bit better.
Mm.
You feeling any better, Jack?
I can faintly smell things again. That's about it. Hey Cole, how you doing, buddy?
You had the dreaded COVID.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, shit.
Hurry out with
Again.
me to the world.
My dad's just got it again.
Medical data.
Rough.
Medical data leak, Curry, kitten. Always fantastic. Yep, I had COVID, and then they gave me antiviral, and yeah, that was weird. It was the only thing I can describe it as. For the whole time I was taking it, it was like I was licking the Tin Man's arsehole. Just constant taste.
Doesn't that metallic mace taste come in your mouth because of COVID anyway? Because when Bruce got it last, he said, "Oh, I've got a metallic taste in my mouth for 2 days," and then it went away, and I was all right.
No, I mean this just stayed constantly. So I don't know.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was. I didn't have it whilst I had COVID, and then when I took the antivirals, that's when I got it.
If you want to get your nose working again, just go out and get some Beckinase. Give it 2 couple of squirts up each nostril.
Oh, there's something even more ludicrous than Beckinase. They make this stuff that's just like designed to forcibly clear. Beckinase is just like is it flower pollen? It used to be steroid, but it's not anymore. It's for hay fever. But the you can get this stuff that's designed for like cold and flu, and you're supposed to like have 1 squirt up the nose, and it just like shrinks the tissue inside your nose or something, and it's just like it feels genuinely scary, but it clears your nose and makes your eyes water at the same time.
Well, when I couldn't smell or taste for 28 days, I went to the doctor and they gave me steroids, and I had 1 squirt each nozzle, and I was like, "Oh, it's back! Thank God!" The next time I done it, did I get COVID? Yeah, I got COVID again. I think I went to the doctors and tried to, give you some steroids here and there, and they just said Beckinase, and I just literally went, psh, psh, and it worked. So try that, Jack.
Top tip.
Try that.
It's a Baconese sauce. Okay.
Baconase, yeah, that's all you need. Smear the mayonnaise and bacon compound on the inside of your nostrils, and your life will improve 200%.
And then eat that mouldy cheese, the blue cheese stuff. That'll sort you right out.
Has anyone been flying this week? Not to derail the conversation, of course.
Oh, come on, this is a podcast.
Something that might be a
that's ever
topic.
changing.
Hmm.
No, but Pretty Decent Beer Co. is a great company.
Yeah, absolutely. Support them. They're lovely. Maybe
no,
we can get a sponsorship if we say it enough. Who knows?
that'd be nice. Get paid in beer. No flying for me. I'm looking forward to the Neo, but I think it might be an indoor quad. So
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be an outdoor. Well, it might work outdoors if there's no wind, but 135 or 60 grams is quite light, isn't it?
It looks like Manstech discovered that the DJI gimbals, or is it walk snail gimbals, aren't walk snail. They just rebadge some generic Chinese gimbal, and it's available for like $10 or $20 less if you buy it on AliExpress from the actual company.
I mean, that is
No.
fairly standard, right? That
Sounds
is,
about
I
right.
mean, it is, but it's also slightly careless and exasperating.
yeah, I don't know. But if they pick one that works well for the application and narrow down the choices, that's a value in itself, I think. I
And
don't
they
know.
are selling like a wireless module, which is quite nice. So you can just have fire and forget, like a bit of double-sided tape, put the wireless module on your goggles, and it'll do the link to the gimbal without you having to talk to the radio, which is nice so long as your radio link doesn't get screwed up by having another radio link running at the same time, of course.
Yeah, that doesn't sound amazing. That is true.
But
Sounds
it's
like
a good simple
idea.
solution, so long as
Yeah.
you don't have any kind of signal issues to start with. But there's going to be people who have slightly borderline signal where it might just cause a bit of complexity.
Yeah. What else has been going on? As Gusto mentioned in the chat a little while ago, we had a collective memory dump onto Off Axis's show on Sunday. He specially organised a Sunday show for us, a Sunday afternoon UK time show, instead of the usual 3 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday morning or something. The show is usually for UK time. So that was very nice of him to accommodate us. And
Lovely bunch.
I enjoyed that greatly. Going through loads of old things.
Yeah.
They picked out a load of videos from way back when, and we went through them all. That was good fun.
Nice. I rocked up at the end and felt like I embarrassed myself completely, but
I did feel sorry for you.
Well, yeah, I just had a couple of friends who'd come over, and I've been having a couple of pints with them. I mean, when I say come over, I mean one of them was like in Singapore, and the other one was in Netherlands. So they just said earlier that day, "Oh, by the way, we're in London. We're not just in London. We're at like your local pub that's 200 meters from your house." I'm like, what? So I ran down there. But rather excitedly had a couple of pints, having thought that I'd missed the show because I checked the listing and it said it was at 10 a.m. and I was like, oh well, I don't have to do the podcast because it was at 10 a.m. I missed it already. And then someone says, oh, actually, no, that's the other time zone. It's at 6 p.m. So run around, run back.
Jack texts me saying it's 6 a.m. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. You've got to get up. And I'll be up by then because I go to airsoft in the morning. But you'll see me all in my airsoft gear.
Yeah.
So,
FPV o'clock, right?
FPV o'clock indeed.
Yeah.
Typical chaos. Jack, we have lost your video.
You have broken your video.
Yeah.
Oh well.
No,
Well,
update.
well done. And this is this follows on to the next topic of next week. We celebrate 9 years of Jack reinstalling and updating mid-show.
Yeah.
9 years.
9 years of starting the show and instantly knocking a microphone cable loose.
9 years. I think we should put a vote in the chat if we should bother to get to 10, because I know that's what Jack wants to do.
Put a vote in the chat. Should we bother to get to 9?
Pay off now.
Poll.
Yeah, but we'll have the episode 500 celebration episode.
Is that
When's
10 years?
that?
Is it? Is that before?
That is before. That
Mm.
is March, end of March next year.
Mm.
End of
Tony's going to
March.
get his nipples waxed
You pay me enough, I will.
live on air.
I watched Curry's tricopter videos. I was kind of interested in that.
Were you very, very drunk?
No, I just thought it's interesting to the kind of old and new. Like he's got really old motors in a wobbly frame, and he's got like a new flight controller, and so he has to tune everything down to stop it reacting. So if it tries to react, it'll just overcompensate. And he ended up stripping the servo, which is probably a little bit predictable because the servo probably needed a bit of filtering so as not to be constantly humming and stripping itself. But yeah, it's interesting.
That's
I
what
like-
I did. I
Right,
just,
right.
I bolted on F4 flight controller.
I did
Well,
wonder
it
if it
needs to
could
be
be
a
a good use
H7.
case for one of those super ultra servos that no one really needs. The giant metal gear jobbies that can lift a small car.
I did meet, like, in I used to go to like the drone, like UAV, like meetup thing,
No, not
industrial meetup
What
thing.
the
and
hell are you talking about?
with the car park, with where they have the whippets, and they also sell the special pills. And there's the guy in the corner,
No,
behind
at the
thing,
XL
that one
Centre,
with the motors,
like
the motors, the motors and the batteries and the whippets.
Like
XL
Do you mean the
Centre.
Do you mean
the
the drone
XL Centre in London?
Yeah.
Expo?
Yeah, and they have like MOD with like demonstration bombs and bloody.
Yeah,
Oh, you
we
should
missed-
go. You've just built one.
We've missed the boat on that.
I know. Here, lads. Have a go defusing this, baby. I went there and they gave me a free pencil, but I saw
That's
some of
really
the
nice
most
Oh, wow.
crazy, like, industrial actuator servos and stuff, and I'm like, fuck, I love one of them. But they're probably like £1,000 per unit.
I think the dirty secret is the military stuff is basically, for the most part these days, the same as the civilian stuff, but with a higher price tag and the guarantee that they'll keep it in stock for like 20 years.
And a good service package of, if you pay us another £100,000, we'll show you where the on button is.
Right. We'll train it to people who learned to read last week. Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
I think I want to go to the XL Centre to get a pencil there.
Yeah, it's good value. The MOD, hard times. There's only so many pencils to go around. It's probably quite a rarity.
The next one is on the 24th and 25th of September.
I was going to say that the military angle is an interesting one because we're seeing a lot of kit that's built in the US, and there's some kind of question that outside of China, who has a giant manufacturing industry, say if you buy a drone that's made in the UK, maybe it happens. Is there a remote chance that you could get it without basically sponsoring the defense industry? Would a company like that be able to exist without just being an extension of the MOD? And I think it's definitely not the case in the US. What do you eat, Jack?
One of those dry packets that say "do not eat." I thought I'd give it a go.
Are you feeling very, very dry? Like way, way too dry?
Did you taste it though?
Yeah. It
Well,
tasted
you-
like
You
chemicals.
really do hate your guts, don't you?
They're fucked anyway. What more damage am I going to do to it?
We're going to find out.
You could have done that on the 500th episode or something.
You can actually buy those with candy in them, but they are quite expensive.
I don't think I trust it.
You could just get candy and print caution silica gel on the outside and be done with it.
Yeah, that's what I've done, isn't it? Sorry, Frank.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
You put Stephen off then.
can you even buy like a drone that's made by people outside of China without sponsoring defense industries? Like it kind of all converges on that, doesn't it?
There's Road Riot, and that didn't turn out too good.
Oh yeah, I mean they just cut to the chase, didn't they? They're like, well, let's get in on the game. Let's get like a shitty old Skyliner and strap a bomb to it. No one's buying them. Quick.
I quite like
There you
the boycotting chat. Are we all getting drunk on the 500th episode?
Can do if you want.
I'd love to see you pissed. I think we should get maybe hire a hall and do a 500th episode in a hall.
And sing a Let's Drone Out song of some sort.
Yeah, we'll make a song up by next.
The only song was the Celine Dion like Titanic song. I held Andy RC. There's no way
maybe you should drive up to where Andy RC is, surprise him, take your laptop and camera with you, and do it from like Andy RC's studio with Andy on your lap.
I think there'd be.
Jack's taking a while to think that one over.
No, sorry, I just realised they stagger the top hole, so you can't put this the wrong way round.
What's this?
I've moved house. Have you really, Andy?
That's just what someone would say if they didn't want Jack to appear on their doorstep.
I know. Well, you better tell me where you actually live, because you don't want me interacting with your parents. That's even worse.
On Sunday, we rebroadcast the dog shit bin.
We did. The dog shit dive, in fact.
The bin is no more, isn't it?
Correct. But in the retrospective on Sunday with Off Axis, I guess Off Axis played out.
I saw Andy got out with a quad recently, which was nice to see.
I only seen him flying his
got out on the field and thrashed a quad around. It's nice to see that.
I saw him flying his was it Typhoon? Anyone? Hello?
Hello.
Anyone there?
I don't know what a Typhoon is, mate.
As in the jet. Yeah, I saw.
Oh, Eurofighter.
Video. Yeah.
You only get an O with Typhoon.
Oh, that's it. It was for the Radio Master. That was it.
Yeah, good video. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I could hear he was nervous.
Oh, he came up, acquitted himself admirably.
Who's deleting stuff in the chat? What's going on?
It was me. I clicked the wrong button. I went to mod and then fucking put him in timeout.
Too right, mate. Too right.
Brilliant. Only on this show.
Well done.
Why put that feature right next to each other?
Yeah.
Accidentally like mods like some spamming like guy in the chat. Yeah, that would be worse.
You're just assuming that YouTube doesn't want you to do that. I think that's the crucial thing. Like you're assuming that they have your best intentions at heart, and I think that might be misplaced trust.
Yeah.
Is anyone fine this weekend? Anyone going out at all?
If I can find a quiet place, yeah. I've been looking to take the little O3 rig out and throw it around a bit.
I'm selling paving. I'm selling broken paving slabs out on the street.
One way to spend your time.
Are you really?
Like Del Boy in the riots.
Oh yeah, that was colourful up here.
Oh yeah.
My little place in East London got a little bit spicy last night.
Nice.
Yeah, all very good-natured sort of spicy, which is the best. It's nice to see people turn up and say, "Oh, actually, we don't want any sort of racists and nastiness, and how about you'll just get in the sea and let everyone here live together in happiness?" Which is nice.
It was
Yeah.
was quite fun. I was a little bit concerned, like seeing all the posts beforehand about like, oh, there's going to be all these right-wing riots. It's like, okay, what's gonna happen? How
Yeah.
bad is this going to be? And then just to see like 7 racists surrounded by just
Yeah.
entire blocks worth of people with "Say No to Fascism" posters. That was quite good.
Yeah, well, it was much the same. Like the EDL tried to march up past the end of my road a couple of years ago, and it was like 50 people marching, all like fat, sweaty white guys with shaved heads, and the women looking much the same. Just an advertisement for inbreeding, outnumbered greatly by the number of people just waving banners telling them how wrong they were, and everyone can absolutely be happy and live together.
It does make you wonder, isn't it? It's like you do realise that, we had to deal with Hitler. We we were the main driving force that told him to go fuck himself. And it's just like, why do you think we'd be down with that? It gives up. They've all got like swastikas tattooed on them and stuff, and it's like no one likes you. No.
No one wants to be in your club. Thank you very much.
I know.
Clive FPV in the chat is flying this weekend, so someone is.
Well done.
He's going to get his practice in for the BDRA champs in September. Yeah, the sort of listing of who is going to be invited along to that is being worked out at the moment, right? I think that's still being finalised at the moment. I think the Scottish lads have still got their selection to make. We've got the final race up in Scotland for the selection for the BDRA championships, and then
We should get hold of some of the Scottish people and catch up with them again, because I think they were, they're seeing a bit of a renaissance when we last spoke, probably a year or so back, and they were just starting to, go up in the world, and be interesting to catch up, see how they're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
On a different note, I've noticed that AM32 is getting pretty healthy. They're pushing out a ton of updates. I'm seeing a lot of people testing new ESCs with them. So it seems that we dodged a bullet with that whole BL Heli 32 stuff for ESCs.
Good.
Got a solid replacement. That's good to see.
Good. The Clive in the chat is saying Team GB for China has been selected. I'm still confused about this. I thought the whole point of the championships was to pick the team, but clearly not. If the team was already been selected,
separate contests.
Well, maybe
isn't that how the Olympics work? That you say you're going to pick the team, but you already know who you're going to pick, and you just do that for the public. It's much like the medal ceremonies, right? Let's have the Olympics, and everyone do that, but we know it's. There are a lot of money's changed hands behind the scenes already, so we know kind of who we're going to give the medals to.
Really, Stephen?
UEFA. UEFA made this very popular, excellent model. Great business model. The fans get
wrong
on TV, and the gamblers off with all the money in the Middle East get to win the bets. It's all good.
Just legal notice: any views expressed by anyone on this show are personal and may not reflect the view of others. The International Olympic Committee, please don't sue LDO. Please sue Stephen instead.
Yep.
I was quite annoyed. I missed Gojira. I was watching the Olympic ceremony, and I tuned in just after Gojira had been on. It looked quite fun.
No one knows what that means.
No.
French heavy metal band. And they were in the Olympic ceremony outside of a castle doing silly stuff.
No.
Being silly.
No.
No, straight over my head.
Right.
Don't know what he's all about. Thought it might be an athlete, something from Africa or whatever.
I was just seeing where Clive is in the rankings. Clive is at number 48 by the looks of it. Oh, there's like hundreds.
That's not bad then.
Yeah. But it's.
I thought you were going to say out of 50 or something.
No. So it's 60 get invited along to the British Championship. So Clive is qualified for the.
Well
British
done, Clive. I know he's got faster and faster, and he's really put the practice in, so fair play. So is there really hundreds of people still drone racing?
I don't know. I've just only got the first page open. It's enough.
I laugh if you scroll to the very bottom. Me and Tony are there, still there.
Still on there.
Just on 0 points.
Yeah.
The contests are definitely going on, and it feels like with HD0 and everything becoming more and more common, the video quality that you can actually look at as a spectator is going to be getting better and better. But in terms of like public awareness, I think it's gone down by quite a long way, which is a bit sad, really.
Yeah, if you think about sort of the predominance that FPV racing had like 10 years ago, not even like 5-6 years ago, like it was on like TV, it was being covered in national newspapers, like because it was I think it was because it was seen as this, exactly, it was seen as a rising thing, and that sort of
convergence of different technologies and all that.
Yeah, exactly. And especially now, I feel like if FPV is in the news, it is for different reasons.
Yeah,
that's sad.
Quite.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice. There seems to be room for sports involving pretty much anything. Like the market for sports is gigantic. And so it's a little bit perplexing that given that it's much more viewable now than it was back in, 2015, when you had pretty bad VTXs producing pretty hard to view video and not really a way to mux that together all on one screen. And now you kind of solve those problems, but the viewership, for whatever reason, isn't being pulled into that. There must be some sort of, I don't know whether it's just shove it all on Instagram and shout about it, or whether it's something more fundamental.
If I was being very cynical, I would say that it was viewable back then because people weren't ridiculously high skilled, and now sort of the skill level has got to the point where it's just incomprehensible to a non-expert.
Yeah, you can't even see
the 7-inch stuff though, like the Pro League, Street League, giant fat drones that can barely pull out of a dive, and it's much more about like kind of
energy management.
Yeah, energy management and classical, almost car racing techniques, where you're trying to get the cleanest line and preserve speed through corners and stuff.
I think there's an element of anyone who had a slight interest, their first doorstep they come across is DJI, and that means that there's a big initial upfront cost of buying the drone, and when you do get it, then it tells you where you can and can't fly, so you can't actually do anything cool with it. And then your initial experience is, oh my god, it's like pushing a camera balloon around in the sky.
I think Stephen's point is rather not being like going out and buying it and doing it, but watching it. Like, why are people happy to watch?
There's plenty of people that don't
on TV
never put
and not
foot to ball, but watch football for like 100+ hours every year.
Yeah, but that's got some tribalism behind it.
I mean, that's not sustaining it, but how did it start it? I mean, all sport has tribalism, and that's just an indication it's reached critical mass, really, isn't it?
I think Andy RC's comment, if anyone can put it up, is right.
So Andy's saying the problem is people get bored with it and move on. Every time I post a video, I lose 50 subs as people no longer into it.
Agreed.
What, and your video is just a reminder of, oh shit, I'm still subbed to Andy.
Yeah. No, it's just
more quad videos, Andy. That's what we need.
It was fun that long ago because it was all new and amazing. Now it's just meh. You know, there's not much fun about it anymore. I don't think. Maybe a bit. I mean, I watched Bad Boys 4, the Ride or Die, and that had some FPV stuff in it, but I didn't rate it very much. Pretty bad.
I thought you were going to say it's sad, like Bad Boys movies. How they used to be cool, and now it's just like another Bad Boys movie.
They're all good still, but I was just saying there's the FPV shots in there, and I was like, God, who's flying this? It's not very good. One bit was good, but
there's definitely some rough shots out there now. You see a lot of people just. Sometimes they're done really well, but
I remember seeing it for FPV shot in the first film like a couple of years ago. That's FPV, I can see it. Now you just constantly see it. It's like when you are watching TV, terrestrial TV, and then drones come out and there's drone shots every.
What do you mean you haven't got a TV license, Tony? You don't watch TV.
YouTube. Well, or if I'm around my parents.
I saw those clips from that Michael Bay film, Ambulance, the drone shots, and they made me really excited to watch the movie. And then I realised after watching some of the movie, they were probably the best shots in the entire movie. The rest of it was just awful.
Was it just made round? So
it was just Michael Bay being Michael Bay. You know, lots of wobbly camera, cuts every 2 seconds, dialogue that reads like someone wrote it while they were busy doing something else. Just awful.
Come on, Michael Day.
So what you're saying is an Ambulance FPV supercut would do really well on YouTube. just the FPV shots.
Yeah, you'd have like a 45-second supercut and be like, "There's an ambulance. It didn't go well for them. Swoop, die, flip." Yeah, that's pretty much it, unfortunately.
Caroline Tyler in the chat says 6 Underground has some great FPV shots and there's a fun film too.
Okay.
What's 6 Underground about?
You're making me think of the Sneaker Pimps. Date myself there. Ryan Reynolds as a Netflix movie. Oh, it's Michael Bay again.
I wonder who the pilot is. If it's the same pilot, is it Fanny Fanover? Or
it looks like it came out in 2019, so it's out there. Have I seen this? Looks like there's some awesome car chases, and FPV tends to be at its best when it's filming car chases because you can get those shots that just don't exist otherwise.
Richard Warwick in the chat says he was in TJD Models the other week, and the guy working there basically said that the popularity of RC cars was bringing in most of the money. I'm not surprised.
Oh, because you break them all the time, don't you? And they're bloody expensive.
Well, they're just always good, though, aren't they? They've all Tamiya have been. I mean, I was in school looking at Tamiya stuff, flicking through the models, the lunchbox, grasshopper, the frog.
Didn't you buy it?
I had one of them. I have got a lunchbox and a frog now, yes, because I'm older and I couldn't afford it. I did have a mud blaster. My dad had a really good Christmas one year, and I got a mud blaster. Which
Why are they filming 6 Underground? I recognise this city.
But did you see the Olympics? There's someone's job is to drive the RC car with the javelin in it. How cool is that?
That would be a very good job.
That's a pretty good job, isn't it? Yeah. Put the javelin in, take it back.
Florence, isn't it? That church. I think it is.
I had a Baja Champ.
Baja Champ.
Yeah.
Was it Tamiya? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did it get better? Yeah. Did you need ointment?
Yeah.
Sometimes you get Baja Champ from running. It'll clear up.
Yeah,
eventually.
Yeah. I was just constantly like stripping because it was like had a load of metal screws into just plastic threads, and it just constantly strip them, and then you need to buy that bit, and like they're only like a few quid at a time, but you have to buy them in pairs, and you only need the one on the right-handed one. You don't need the left-handed one.
Keep you paying out, mate.
Yeah, it's they get you, don't they? Definitely.
But how cool was it? Like they were in the 80s and they're still pretty cool models to
I've
have.
got an
I think.
FPV car, and I stripped all the parts, like the gearbox is stripped, and at the same time I tried to gun it some more and strip the diffs, and I can't get replacements for the parts now.
Yeah, you don't get on well with mechanical components, do you?
I don't really enjoy mechanical
You need
components.
the fewest moving parts possible.
I mean,
having a gearbox is not the way you
soldering,
want to
like doing some work on Ethernet switches and stuff, is more my speed, really.
But yeah, cars was my first FPV sort of experience. I was having a tiny little indoor car and strapping a camera to it and FPVing that to my parents' big CRT screen at the time.
They do bump an awful lot, though. That's the trouble.
Bumpy, pukey, start being in the back of a car.
Yeah, I tried FPVing stuff, and as tempting as it is to go really fast, I think unless you've got like a 6th or an 8th scale, it's almost the FPV feed's difficult to use.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. You just have to keep slowing down to see what the hell you're actually doing. You're like, oh, this is so exhilarating. Wait, I think I need to turn. Where the hell am I? Slow down.
Well, I wonder if that would be improved now with like modern FPV. I mean, I don't know when you...
Maybe if you do like EIS on board, have something like an 03 that can do electronic image stabilization on board, maybe that would make car FPV a bit better.
Yeah.
But you need a fan, I guess.
Might have a go at some point. I've got a kit to build a crawler somewhere. That would be reasonably non...
Oh, I was seeing some polls online comparing, what FPV solution are you using, and analog is now firmly south of 50% from what I can see.
Yeah, I saw that on... Yeah, was that Painless's poll?
Yeah, Painless, and I think UAV Futures had one as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Analog is losing ground, certainly. There we go.
You're soon not going to be able to get the chips for it, are they? Because they must be going through them a lot.
7, whatever it is, the overlay chip is, they're already using clones because they stopped making the original one. There's still some talk about, look, wouldn't it be really nice if camera manufacturers did like programmable overlays for analog cameras, and camera manufacturers are like, no one wants that. And so you're basically in this kind of standoff, and the chip supply for those overlay chips will run out, and you're not going to be able to get it. There's, Hydra, he's got a system where you can do an overlay and you can drive it and input arbitrary data, but no one wants to move first because they've got to do all the R&D costs, and then everyone just copies it. So it really needs some Chinese camera manufacturer to just have like a UART alongside their camera connection for an analog camera, and that would be awesome. SkyZone out of business. Wow.
Breaking news.
They were the best.
Frantic Googling.
Well, it surprises me.
They still have a website. 10 years of history, hundreds of distributors, it says on the website.
Anti-RC fake newsing it.
Yeah. They released an update not too long ago for the SkyZone Sky 04X as well.
I mean, their website does show everything is sold out. It seems like.
Fair enough.
Nothing is in stock.
Tailspin says, I fly analog every day. Some jogging twat told me I can't fly here in my own fucking garden. Sounds about right.
Well, did you mention that they were a jogging twat? It's a crucial information point they may have been missing in their calculation.
Stop looking into my garden. It's invading my privacy.
Lying, you're invading my privacy.
His garden does literally back onto Gatwick Airport, but never mind.
Is it? Oh dear.
I think he's in the Tenerife, isn't he?
people just, it's weird how people can have double standards where they complain that you're flying this little drone and you're whizzing around, not looking at them, but they think their privacy is being invaded. Meanwhile, they're like filming themselves and uploading all their pictures to services who are literally trying to monetize their information, scan where they are, and figure out how to shovel advertising in their face. Interesting dual standard.
And don't forget all the malware in the Google Play Store.
How do they let that in, Jack? How? How
And
does it get
people
in?
downloading
right-wing
the
drag
Temu
the
website.
movie Twisters, a remake of Twister that everyone was asking for. Remember that movie Twister that came out like when Jurassic Park came out? It was about people who had to drive around and throw stuff in tornadoes because no one was throwing anything into tornadoes and someone had to do it. They made another movie about people who have to throw things into tornadoes because no one else is throwing things into tornadoes.
Sounds brilliant.
Weather balloons? Let's throw
I
a
don't
weather
know how they
balloon
get the
into
budget for
tornadoes.
these movies. It's like Hollywood is
Fire drones
You know,
into
like,
tornadoes.
Cannons exist.
yeah.
You could fire things into tornadoes.
No, you have to drive around on a pickup truck and get really close to it. You can't just fly a drone into it from 5 miles away. You have to get really, really close to it.
Proper cars now. What's fire things into the ground and suck down?
Yeah.
And
if there's one thing that drones are really good at, is exposing massive plot holes in movies. Whenever the drone features in a movie, it'd be like, well, why? Why is that done that way? Why are they doing it this way? Yeah. It's much like people, I guess, who work in computer security. Whenever they see someone who goes, "I'll hack in," and they're just like, "At this
2
point,
seconds.
I am no longer going to consider what's happening on screen, or I will punch something."
It's been 0 days since I've had to recompile the kernel.
Yeah. I'm just going to crack AES 256. It's going to take 30 seconds.
No, it's just a couple of done. We're in. We can.
That
do
password was password.
That's probably closer to the truth, right?
It's probably the best password ever because no one will try a
We've
password.
cracked their system. A lazy Tory minister left it on a train.
Yes.
They sent it to me in response to the nudes that I sent them.
Yeah, right. I said my name was Mandy. Now we have all their secrets.
Yeah. Some vaguely drone-related news. The Isle of Wight drone delivery service that was going to be tested as of yesterday has been delayed till next week due to locals complaining about taking up space in their local car park. So,
oh my God, really?
Well, I hope they enjoy their absence of medication.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it will happen at some
There's
point.
probably better places to land, isn't there?
There's probably better places to go than the Isle of Wight.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
there's some nice fossils on the beach.
They have a fair point. That
it's probably
they
fossils complaining.
They published the plan about 3 weeks before they actually were going to do it, which in council terms isn't a long time between saying, "Oh, we're going to close your car park for 6 months," and closing the car park.
Isn't there only like 10 people on that island? How big of a car park do they need?
They're on the Isle of Wight. Where are they driving to? Like, it's about 3 miles long, isn't it?
No, that's the Isle of Man, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 80 miles circumference.
80?
Because I was going to ride it this year.
So that's the one off the south coast, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like 20 miles west to east, right? Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so they set up a fail effectively.
It's close roads and grannies, and Bruce moans about them every day.
Was it? Just land it in a field instead of a car park as well?
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. Why can't they just land it in the bloody field?
Well, so their system is they've got like these shipping containers that's got like a a roof that the drone lands on, and then
Great.
it
And
looks
these
like it's
shipping
almost...
containers can only be placed in car parks.
Well, I figure it's easier to put it in a car park and take it away from a car park.
Farmer Giles Field, which is bloody always wet because we've had so much rain.
I
Exactly.
don't know. I've seen a lot of people just dump shipping containers anywhere. They're used as storage lockers famously because of their ability to be dumped almost anywhere.
But they're a challenge to recover. That's the problem.
Most of them are in car parks, though, I've seen, to be fair.
Yeah, or on
Unless they're turned into houses.
Old concrete slabs of some kind, yeah.
Or you just need a bit of gravel down. You don't need car park.
And you can deliver stuff easier to car park.
That is also true. But either way, it's not our problem.
Yeah, not a problem. Not living on an island.
Well, just don't fly it to the hospital if it's blood. Just literally fly to the hospital and land on the bloody roof.
I mean, all they would have to do is watch James May's thing trying to fly
from
the UK coast to the Isle of Wight, and they were like, "No, you can't do it." You know.
Meanwhile, someone hobbyist just flies over his head and does it anyway.
No, rip it over there. Come on.
I was going to say, like,
I
feel like we could just go down there and like fly that route this weekend. And
I've got it. We should go there, suck some blood out of our mate Jack.
And the ERC makes the point that Jetson, with their flying cars, are doing cool stuff. And yeah, they are. Their flying car looks eerily reminiscent of that the racing drone that what's her face, the
May on High.
Yeah, the Life Hacks woman does. Yeah. Last thing I heard, she was selling a book about how to be an influencer.
Oh fuck! I can't.
I didn't say that.
It's all right. She's not gonna. She doesn't watch this anyway. She can't stand
that girl.
Yeah. She's charting her own course. Good luck to her. Anyway, they've got a flying car. It doesn't look very friendly. It looks to flying cars what kind of a Caterham 7 looks to a family saloon, as in it's a bathtub with plenty of power, and it'll definitely go, but doesn't look terribly user friendly on the inside. Not
got airbags
at all.
You need more than that.
Airbags, mate. I don't think it's got a canopy. It's just got a couple of steel bars.
Roll cage, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a roll cage. A very loose definition of a roll cage, because they're only from fore to aft. They don't go side to side.
Have you seen WRC cars flying at 170 mile an hour into trees and guys just getting out?
Yeah, they've got a full roll cage, though. This is some artist's interpretation of a roll cage, is what I'm saying. If you stuck your arm out, I'm pretty sure it's a goner if this thing goes over. I mean, it's shifting, though. It looks good. So they've got, 20-minute flight time? Doesn't say how far.
The jetpack things. That looks cool.
Here we are. Cruise speed of 60 kilometers an hour. And they reckon they did 17.7 kilometers, or old money, 11 miles. A 37 mile an hour, as the crow flies, gets you across most large cities, doesn't it? As long as you don't have to hover for 10 minutes at the other end before you can land, mind.
Yes, Frank, definitely. Let's do that. Sorry. That's not far, is it? All right, we could do that. I could probably swim that, Frank.
I'm sure you could.
Is it the modern day curry?
Roll cage was spinning. What? Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, a roll cage will stop the spinning blades of carbon death.
I want that on a shirt.
And May on High apparently playing Stray Cat.
Ooh. What?
Apparently James May was trying to fly across the channel and the French said
no.
I think you'll find the French actually said
no.
You are not coming at
Absolument no.
I was just pissing by the window.
I was just pissing by the window.
That's the only French I know, the hello, hello version.
Good morning.
Good morning. I was just pissing by the window. Oh dear. Oh, Renee.
On the strength of my rose-tinted memories, I actually started to rewatch Hello, Hello, and 80s comedy doesn't age as well as you expect
I
it
bet
to.
it don't.
It really does not. No.
Full of Madonna with the big boobies.
Yes.
That's it. Some of the stuff you can't get away with nowadays.
Some.
I watched Adele Boy and I was like shocked. I was like, you can't say that.
Oh dear.
Not anymore, mate.
I think we've run out of any possibly vaguely
See you next week.
Anything.
9 more years.
You can vote and tell us to piss off. Just get drunk on the 500th and bugger off. I'm up for that. I'm voting for that. See us out, Jack.
No, Stephen had us.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for joining us on Let's Drone Out, a tangentially drone-related show. Brought to you this week by Commander-in-Chief
very
Frank
tangential.
and his groin.
Bye.
Fun Star, i.e. Ferret Boy,
Bye.
and Brighten Till I Fly, Jack. And myself, Stephen. Thank you. Have a wonderful week and support us on Patreon. Thank you very much. More battery licking.
Bye.